So, what I thought of mostly between the last time I saw you was the racing, intrusive thoughts about the what ifs and what am I, the all day long intrusive thoughts. I thought I had to attend to each one and say, okay, and come up with some plan. But I read something that you can just ignore those intrusive thoughts. And I wanted to see what you thought of that as a master.
Yes. So first fundamental thing, we try to solve the problem with the mind. Mind is the troublemaker. Mind never solves any problem. Mind creates problem. It confuses us. So what is the answer? To quiet the mind. When mind is quiet, stops wandering around, when it becomes quiet, it goes to the source. Source is consciousness. Source is Atman. So when mind is quiet, all the cloudiness disappears, like a mirror is covered with dirt. Wipe out the dirt and mirror can reflect you as you are. Also, when mind is quiet, it goes to the source. Source is consciousness and Atman. Consciousness is eternal. It has no boundaries, no past or no future. So you become the observer of everything which is beyond all the limits. There is no thoughts, no fears, no past experience. You see total picture. So it is like light is turned on. But light is turned on, everything is seen clearly as is. But when there is darkness, we imagine maybe there is a snake, maybe there is a robber, maybe there is something else. When the lights are turned on, there is no snake, but a coiled up rope, no robber, but furniture covered up by some bedspread. So this is what happens. We are in illusion, create all the problems. So when we become quiet, it would resolve the problem. So we'll go through the technique of meditation that we'll do. First, understand and question, who am I? If you ask the question, who am I? Who is experiencing all these things? You will see, I am the one. I am the center. I see, I hear, I taste, I touch, I smell. Sights change, sounds change, touch changes, smell changes, taste changes, but I remain the same. I am observer of all the things I saw, all the things I heard, all the things I tasted, touched, all these things. Now, mind gets involved into the thoughts and emotions. So we are not thoughts or emotions. We are also observer of thoughts and emotions. So you should get into practice slowly, just becoming an observer of the world. Whatever you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, remember, and also what somebody told you, whatever emotions you felt, all this you are an observer. As soon as you become an observer, you can see you are the subject. You are the subject that is constant, while everything seen, heard, tasted is only object. Objects change all the time, while you remain permanent as observer. So when you become observer as permanent entity, then you become free from everything that is observed. All the objects have no control over you. The reason the objects control us, because we tie up ourselves with that thought, that experience of what we saw, what we heard, the emotions we felt, everything. So we cut off the string. How can we cut off the string? Simplest technique is the breath. With the breath we connect with everyone and everything. So simplest technique you can apply while meditating or during the day. If you remember, all you do is observe the breath as it enters the lungs and goes to your innermost core, that is Atman, and as it goes out. You become aware of it, try not to control. As you become observer, you become observer of the breath. Breath is prana. Prana is thought. And thought comes from associating with it. So you go beyond thoughts, that you are constant observer. You are constant subject of all the objects. So you get more focused on yourself and see that everything, all the experiences come, sight, sound, memories, emotions. You are only observer. Observer, like you are watching a movie on the screen. You get involved in the scenery, in the involvement emotionally. You cry, you laugh, you get angry. But as soon as you remember, this is a screen. Screen has nothing except light and shade and movements that creates illusion. Same way, the world is illusion. Everything we see is not permanent. Everything we hear, taste, touch, smell, all the emotions are not permanent. No emotions stay forever. You cannot get angry and remain angry all the time. You cannot be happy and laughing all the time. You cannot cry all the time. If you cry all the time, it turns into laughter. You laugh a lot, it turns into crying. These are all illusion. Everything changes. But we are permanent consciousness. So, close the eyes and for a few moments, just focus on that you are the anchor. You are the anchor that is permanent. Things go out, comes back. So if you get any experience or any thought or any emotions, when breath comes in, you are back to the center. All the thoughts, experience, emotions, pleasure, pain, gain, loss, everything's changing. But you become aware that I am constant observer. This will slow down the mind. You will be an observer of all your thoughts and all your emotions. As soon as you become observer, mind becomes quiet, you go inward, inner light spreads, and you become visionary. You see everything that is beyond time and space, because our mind thinks only of limited past, limited future, thoughts, emotions, all the gains and loss based upon our past experience. We have fears, anger, past experiencing that contaminates us. We cannot go beyond. When you go to the bright light of knowledge and wisdom, you see everything clearly. What you see is everything in darkness what you believed was illusion. So as you learn this, that everything is illusion, and then you live with that awareness that everything is temporary. So you learn to enjoy everything as is, without tying yourself, without attachment, without holding on to it, thinking about too much. It is here and now, enjoy it and remain free. So as soon as we practice this, we find peace and everything disappears. This you learn to apply during the day. When you are going through any experience, you become observer. When you are driving, instead of thinking, worrying, just be in the present as much as you can. Even small effort will be rewarding. You will see the benefits so many ways. And that becomes a habit. This is the practice also called mindfulness, that you observe everything without thinking, analyzing, or judging. You see everything as is. It's not good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. You become free from the wrong habit of thinking and judging. Thinking and judging is done by intellect. Our intellect is so much used to judging immediately. You see something flying, you say it is bird. You identify with the bird. Same way, you see person, you identify this person is pleasant, unpleasant. With just outer look, we can go completely wrong. We should learn to be observer. We can learn compassion for all the living creatures. When we realize that everyone is evolving at own speed, you stop judging them. You stop controlling them. You let it be. You can only be an instrument to serve without any motive, selfless service, and you become free. We put everything as burden on our shoulders. That is why it creates a problem. Think, God, whatever way you believe, or supreme consciousness that creates everything, sustains everything, and dissolves everything. He has all the power. Who are we to help out God? We can only be an instrument. Just remove the illusion and you become free. Okay, that's enough for now. Jai